Record.
Hi everybody, we're here today doing a little bit of a dental recheck with our buddy Leo the Lion. We found a little resorptive lesion on one of his teeth a few weeks ago at a dental visit, and we removed the tooth, which made him start to eat a lot better, which is great. Today he's here for a little bit of a recheck, and we were here to talk to Mom about brushing, which could be quite challenging in a cat. And yes, it sounds silly, but even cats do require toothbrushing or professional dental care quite often, at least once a year. We have our tuna flavored toothpaste, which works in the households where their dietary restrictions will let it happen. Things like tuna water are a great way to coaxing your cat into letting you get in their mouth. In behaviors like this, for instance, as you can see, Mr. Leo is just kind of hanging with me. He's not the fondest of toothbrushing, I'm sure, and this is something that Mom's going to have to work on quite a bit on a daily basis, and then possibly get him to the point over a month or so, I would expect. But you can see here that I'm just kind of working on his mouth, and I'm going to flip the lip up, and I'm going to get my finger in there and touch on some places, and he's not the keenest about it, but he doesn't mind so much. We're also going to try to flip the lips up in a few places like this and get an idea for how his mouth is feeling or looking where the extractions were. We can also have him open all the way like this. Good job. Thank you, sir. We can also try to introduce our toothpaste a little bit to see how he thinks about the smell. He doesn't seem to mind it so much, so that is number one. It's also good to take a little bit of that toothpaste in introduction like I showed you before and rubbing it on his gums and places where we're going to get with the toothbrush. Again, we can't expect them to wholeheartedly let us just jump in there with a brush each time, but it's nice to be able to walk them in. We introduce a little bit on our finger. Now the same thing with the toothpaste on the brush, and we can start introducing that brush into his mouth slightly, like you can see here. I am restraining him. I am, in a sense, pushing my way forward into getting the toothbrush in the mouth, but it's nothing that is forced. There's no actual heavy restraint happening. He's still very comfortable with the situation, and I think that's square one. The minute that we recruit other family members in the full Nelson in a straight jacket or something like that, we're just increasing the negative experience. So make it fun, make it tasty, go at it a little bit each day, and don't be afraid to use human foods in very, very slight moderation, obviously, just for good flavors on the end of the brush. So we kind of trick them into knowing that the toothbrush is a very tasty thing. So as for that, Mr. Leo's recheck went really well, and I think that as a start off in introduction to brushing, that it also went absolutely great. So we're going to continue on working with him at home and visits when he comes in, and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you have questions or concerns, please leave us some comments below, and or anything else that you'd like us to cover for you, we'd be glad to do it. Have a great day.